Alright, we are live. Um, Let me hurry up and drop the link in the chat. What time is it? Okay, not too bad. Um, okay. All right. So this stream is about AMR clearing up his point of view on him being in the Goldensphere and everything. I unfortunately forgot to write down some questions. Fuck. But because I also forgot to look back at the 3 hour live stream that we did last week. Appreciate those who were there and those on the panel and those who caught the playback. I appreciate that. Um, I will be doing more topics like that as well. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. I do love these real talk streams, and I do like hearing other people's different perspectives on it. It's really, really dope. And I know I had did some in the past with um, RJP. I wanted to do more, but he hasn't been around on YouTube in like going on 2 years. But hopefully, um, I could catch back up with him again. I really, really love talking with him. And what up, AMR? The link is in the chat, but let me know if you can hear me, and let me know if the link works. Well, it'll work, I guess, when you click on it and come up here. But can you hear me? Mm. Okay, you're not backstage yet, so okay, good. Well, do you see the link? If you could click it, let me. Um, if you can't click it, let me know, and I'll drop it again. I might start going live this way. I actually need to start using my this iPad more. I like it. The screen is bigger. It's better than on the phone, but I like the convenience of both. Okay, as long as the link works. I was just saying that I did forget to write down some questions. I don't know if I want to edit down the live stream or just post up clips. I'm not entirely sure. I might do that though. I'll still leave the 3 hour stream up, but I'll find a way to like kind of chop up the parts of our conversation. But anyways, last week we talked a little bit about the Goldensphere, colorism in relationships. Um, each topic um, is so broad because there's so much. And maybe one day we could do a longer stream about it. I know probably other people have a lot more to add on to each of those topics, but yeah, they're really broad, and so many different people could bring so many different perspectives. But it was really interesting, um, what everyone thinks um, in regards to those topics. Maybe one day, probably not soon, especially after this, but in the coming months, I might revisit it with a bigger panel. I'm not entirely sure. What up, Sinister Salt? How are you? Sinister Salt, I got a question for you since you're here and you're a light skinned man. Have you heard of the Golden Sphere? Are you a part of it? Or will you ever be a part of it? Why or why not? AMR, whenever he comes up here, he's gonna elaborate on my 3 hour stream I did last week with him and Key, about the Golden Sphere, colorism in relationships. What up, Just Chillin'? Never heard of it. Damn. Oh, well. Briefly, um, what up, AMR?
Hey, yo, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yep. Before we
Oh,
start, briefly, Saul, and I guess AMR could explain it maybe later on better. But to me, what I've observed, the Golden Sphere is light skinned and biracial people um, coming together in a similar fashion, the way I guess dark skin and other shades of black people come together to fight colorism. But they're fighting it, I guess, from a perspective of light skinned and biracial people do suffer from being bullied by colorism and other things. Um, at least from my observation of what it is, but also I've also observed the negative part, which is anti-black women, uh, basically. So yeah, that's what it is. They feel like dark-skinned black women cry too much from colorism. And this is what I've heard from them.
well, you know what? I mean, there's a little bit of truth to that, but at the same time,
What up, Salt?
Hey, what's going on, you guys?
everybody. Oh, what's going on, Sinister? No,
Hey, what's going
from
on?
yeah, but pretty much, we just, well, pretty much they just got done calling out Thandi Newton for, her, for some of the things that she said, and it's like, real talk is like, why are you apologizing? I mean, you can't help, you are who you are, and at the same time, people were hating on you during your first movie, and they're gonna hate you after your last movie. So the
Yo,
idea that is,
You
oh,
funny,
go
just
ahead.
chilling. But no, and
So
that's the thing.
basically,
I've
is
never thought that biracials are light skinned people. And I always say that because I have to make a distinction between biracials and light skinned blacks, because there is a difference. I never thought that either one should apologize for who they are. And I felt like Thandi Newton's apology was kind of fake, but that's just my
yeah,
opinion. But yeah, what's
what's
up,
her
and
Salt?
name?
that was,
Sandy? Like
yeah, Tom.
Thandy?
Nah, it's spelled Thandie.
Huh.
And the thing about it is, though, she's married to a white guy or with a white guy. I mean, there's nothing. Not, I mean, me personally, I really don't care. Who you
Right.
with, to be
So it's
honest with
basically
you.
like she's a light skinned chick and she's saying like dark skinned women complain too much or something. From
No,
No, Thandi was talking about how that she's different from the people that I was speaking of previously in the Golden Sphere. But
Mhm.
oh, go ahead, Aaron.
but yeah, but she got called out for basically it's like, for sort of being again, I don't know if you ever heard of this term, again, I talked about it last time, a light skinned savior, where they look for, yeah. And I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into more of that here in a bit. I'm also talking about some other people. But yeah. What they do is that they pander to some of these, colorist crybabies in order to get validation. And the term colorist crybaby or light skinned savior, I believe, really came from someone by the name of Kid Organic. And for those of you who know who Kid Organic is, it's like I watched a couple of his videos, and if you understand, especially, get as a dude, then yeah, you get it. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, I'm on a different state of mind. I'm gonna let you do what you do and call it a day. And also, again, to clear this thing up about, again, like how the Goldensphere, let's be real. And again, and also, like I said, when I was on here last time, I kind of misspoke a little bit. And I'm not going to really get into that. But really, the Goldensphere is like fairly new. It's not like these other spaces around YouTube or social media that's been out for years and years and years that's, they have like this head start, like the pro black sphere or the manosphere. I mean, they have a longevity.
Is it like a group of light skins talking shit?
Nah, nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
None.
That's what it sounded like it was to me. That's what like, all right.
Not at all. Not at all. It's not like that. None whatsoever. Now I don't know, and again, I don't know if y'all ever heard of these people by the name of Anon and LSM.
Nah.
No, I never heard of them.
Okay, now Anon and LSM, I'm not saying that they created the Goldensphere, because even they themselves would say, no, they didn't. What they did was they kind of set the table and pretty much paved the way for people who supported them in the past, and even these new people who were just getting here, how they created the Goldensphere. And pretty much they were the ones that was, pretty much addressing light skin issues. And
don't laugh, Salt. Don't laugh, Salt.
No, that's what I'm saying. Light skin issues, like, yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. My bad, man.
No, it's all good, man. But yeah, though, but the thing is that and again, and me personally, I wasn't watching Anon and LSM content like that. I wasn't, even when they was out. I mean, I would see their names in passing, and a lot of people think that, oh, well, just because you see their names in passing, that means you really know what's going on. It's like, no, it's like, hey, well, it's like, hey, if somebody's selling something to you, and if you're not interested at the time, then you're just not interested. So it's like, okay, when I get to it, I'll get to it. But then going forward, I found out that their channel, either they closed it down or somebody flagged them. And then also they have like this group chat where somebody came in and pretty much messed it up. Not something that they did, but what somebody else did to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's your opinion so far, Salt?
I would say it's still kind of forming. Well, yeah, I'm still kind of forming an opinion, like just based off of everything he said. Like, just like what's really ringing in my head is like light skin issues. I'm like, just thinking about, like, because I'm trying. I don't want to go in on anybody or anything, but at the same time, I'm just like, light skin issues. Like, let's face facts. It seems like the way the world looks at it is, in me being a light skinned man, like I've experienced it. It's like the world will basically say, oh, if you're light, you're all right. Like the world will lean more towards, hey, light skinned people are better than dark skins for whatever fucking reason. And I'm just like I know I'll go around the sector and I'll say, oh, team light skin and everything, but that shit's 100% a fucking joke, just to see who's gonna piss off, to see who's gonna come at me, because we all, as far as the sector goes, we all here just to just to bullshit and fuck around and shit. I say that shit as a joke. I don't even mean that shit even in the fullest. Like my best friends, like my 5 best friends are all dark skinned dudes. That's why it's like, I don't know, light skin issues. Please tell me what the lights. I would love to know what the light skin issues are.
Wait, and again, me personally, I was, again, like me, yeah, I said it, but at the same time, it's like people already laid that, foundation down before I even came into the mix. So, and
what I
apparently,
would love to do. What I would love to do is be on a panel. Yeah, my bad. I would love to be on a panel with some of these people who have these quote unquote light skin issues, because in my experience, with a lot of light skinned people out there, especially like the lighter they are, because I'm like a caramel color, but they got some light bright ass dudes out here. A lot of them, like I've even heard women speak, like real light skinned women speak on it, like basically they don't feel accepted. Like the darker skinned people will make them feel like, oh, you're not a purebred, basically. But lots of people use the term half breed, and so they don't feel accepted. So it's like, let me come across a group of light skinned people, me being a light skinned dude, and they say some shit like the light skin struggle. And if at any point any of them says anything that even is remotely even close to basically sounding like the dark skinned people won't accept us, if I hear some crybaby shit, like, because I'm definitely gonna look into the Goldensphere. That's what's called the Goldensphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Like what kind of pompous high level, like we think we high power type of shit? Name it the Goldensphere, really? We're from the Goldensphere, a bunch of light skin, because that's what it sounds like to me, a bunch of light skin motherfuckers talking shit on whoever, and we're the Goldensphere, really? The manosphere, the woman, the Goldensphere, really? That's what you chose to call yourself? Yeah, there's no self fellatio there at all. So yeah, I can't wait to run into this group of people and see what the fuck they talking about.
So it's funny. No. I mean, me personally, like, I don't. It's not the fact that light skins or biracials get bullied, and I'm taking it as a joke. I don't. I understand that they go through things in life just like everyone else. I don't think because a person is light skinned that they've had an easier life. But as far as them tired of hearing about colorism, I mean, to me, that to me is a joke, because I never took someone talking about colorism as if they're trying to say, oh, light skins or biracials shouldn't exist, or that they should be blamed for, just being born biracial or light skinned. I never took it as that. But some of them over there that I have heard clearly do, and those are the ones that that I'm laughing at. Even just the word, I don't take it seriously. I don't think it's I don't take it seriously. And I know I shouldn't paint everyone over there the same, which I don't, because of a few people that I've heard. But yeah, I mean, I don't get what their point is overall. But go ahead, AMR or Sinister.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to hear what he was going to say.
What up, Rio? What up, Key?
Yeah.
What's up, Rio?
Yeah, but you know it though, and because it's like, again, like I think what Sinister start what you said, that you're like what you said, you're light skinned too.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, well, so probably me and you, and I'm not, again, like, hell, probably me and you would be the same phenotype then, pretty much.
Yeah.
And as I said, again, last time I was on the panel, I said that, I'm taking it as well, I'm all about people's rights not being violated. I'm all about, again, like, is your safety really is at risk to where you are, I don't want to say protected, but it's like, again, if somebody's taking their frustrations out on you because of you are who you are and what you look like, I mean, hell, even I myself go through the same thing. I mean, I can't help as if I came out the way I came out with the hazel green eyes and all that, But at the same time,
people don't like that shit.
Nah, they it's like they pounce on that like cats.
You know, it's funny you say that because when I was in high school once, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'll wait till you're done. Go ahead.
But yeah, though. But again, me personally, I mean, even when though, again, when I was younger, and even though I'm 34 now, my thing is like, what, again, like, again, like I said, I was in a different state of mind. I mean, I'm not pro-black by any means. Again, I would never say that. It's like, hey, if I say what I say, I give my opinion. You can either take it in or you don't. I'm still going to have my opinions, just like everybody else. But at the same time, because and because again, because I lived in multiple different places with my family being military, and because where I would be in like certain regions in certain parts of the country, whether yes, the United States, what have you. I mean, somewhat part of your subconscious got to tell you something.
Yeah.
And whether your subconscious is like, well, okay, well, it's like, all right, well, 9 times out of 10, if I'm gonna come across another black person, sure, they may not be, the similar to me regarding phenotype, but it's like, hey, well, again, you think you sort of got some black unity, and then it's like, the other side is like, well, you don't belong. And I'm like, well, where does that come from? That we don't belong. Like, who did this? And then it's like, okay, so now it's like, well, okay, well, did I divide or did that was just something that they came up with themselves? And when I mean they, like, and me, I'm not crying out colorism by any means. I'm like, hey, if you're an asshole, if you're just an asshole just by being human beings, regardless of phenotype. But the thing about it is that because again, like this is like again fairly new, and it's because it's fairly new for me. It's like again, like from where and how I grew up, I couldn't again, like, I mean, of course, again, it's like if you had those boys will be boys situation, okay, fine, but then it's like I would always have somebody again, like low key would just always look at me sideways or fuck with me sideways, not because of I did something to them in the past, because it's like I don't know these people.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And to top it off is that I'm like, look, I never met you in a before or afterlife until now, and it's like, yo, unless if you have a legitimate reason to complain to me about, oh, and then it's like, okay, so I'm gonna take it how Chuck Norris explained it on the movie The Hitman. It's the differences that you don't like. And because it's the differences that you don't like, well, then what does that say about somebody else that not only you as a person, but what does that say to somebody else who you may deal with going forward? Right. And that's pretty much all I got.
Okay. Go ahead, Saul, if you want.
Yeah, when you would they brought up the thing about, oh, you got, what I'm saying, you light skinned, you got light colored eyes or green eyes and shit. I remember once when I was a junior, or was I a sophomore? I was either a junior or sophomore in high school, and really, like, I didn't do it for any other reason other than as an experiment. I wanted to see what would happen, so I went out and I got me some of those color contacts, and I have light brown eyes, but there's a difference. People are still gonna look at you different if you got green eyes and you're a light skinned dude, because mine's are like kind of like almost kind of honey brown. They're light brown. So I was like, all right, let me get these green contacts and see what happens. I go to school the next day. people who had just met me that school year looking at me, have your eyes always been green? And then I notice I start getting more attention and shit, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Some of these people have known me for like the last 2-3 years. You're just noticing like you think my eyes have been green this entire time? Then later on, me and my homeboy, we go to the mall and shit. We're getting numbers and everything. He's a dark skinned dude, and he tells me before we leave, he's like, "Hey, bro, you can't do this no more." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "This is cheating." And I was like, "What do you mean cheating?" He said, "You can't be light skinned with green eyes. This like you can't." And I'm like, bro, like if I had been born this way though, like would you be saying this shit? Will we even still be homeboys, or is it just you don't like that? You know what I'm saying? This is what's going on over here, but not over here. And it's like you said, like you don't like the differences and shit. And so it's just like I said before, a lot of them will, and by them I mean light skinned people, they'll feel like they ain't accepted and they're not. I guess they've been made to feel like they're not pure and shit like that. And it was like I think when me and Elm first met, one of the things I said on her panel was like I grew up fighting dark skinned dudes, and the majority of them, I could tell they just didn't like me because I was lighter. The girl you like likes me, but that's not my fault. You know what I'm saying? And
right. But if
I
you
was
were a light skinned woman with green eyes, they would be all over you.
Yeah. But then what would happen? A lot of the girls would say, "Oh, even if that's not what the girl or the man thinks at all, they'll say, oh, you think you fly, you think you fine, you think you better than everybody, you think you all that." But it's like, no, I don't think that. But it's clear to me that you think that I think that, and so it's like I always refer back to what Sinbad said when he said if you see a group of dark skinned dudes and one light skinned dude, the light skinned dude is who you need to watch out for, because he had to do something. He had to do some sort of something, maybe even a couple of times, to earn those dudes' respect. But I'm guessing he meant in certain scenarios, like if you're growing up on the street or you're growing up around certain types of individuals, it's like, you're going to have to do a little more to prove to them, hey, I can do what it is you do, and I can even go further with it. And I feel like in a way, it's kind of fucked up because it's like, I don't know. I just always thought it was kind of fucked up, personally. Like I could see where I could see where they would, have issues with certain shit and feel like they're not accepted and light skin problems and all this. But I'm not even gonna say but. However, it's fucking bullshit, bro. Believe it or not, dark skinned people have more problems going on with colorism and all that shit than light skinned people. Trust me, we got it fucking easy. And for those of us who understand that we got it easy, like me, like I've always used this shit to my advantage. Because I learned at an early age, you don't like me because my skin is lighter than yours. But guess what? If one of these white motherfuckers calls you a nigger, I'm probably gonna hit them before you do. If there was ever a race war, these white motherfuckers ain't gonna accept me. They ain't gonna say, "Oh, he with us because he has a little bit." No, they're gonna say, "Nah, you're still a little too dark. You gotta stay with them." So it's like, nah, what the fuck you think is going on? Yeah, I'm just.
And that's the thing too, and it's funny because it's like it's funny that again, like you have of course your monoracials where they do most of the talking, they do most of the making noise, more so than anybody else.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that yeah, it's like and even for even sort of these pro black circles. I mean, again, not all of them, but then again, you got some of them that's just faking the funk. I mean, hell, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention. I mean, hell, Joe Rogan has just got into a whole bunch of, which I already knew. I'm not surprised. Again, it's like, oh, well, y'all, nobody's not doing anything but co-signing them for saying the N-word. And it's like, not saying that I condone it, but still. But you're taking your frustrations out on the wrong people, though. You're taking your frustrations out on me. And I'm like, I didn't do shit. All I do is just try to be an everyday, regular human being.
Wait, Aaron, are you biracial?
Nah, I'm not.
Oh, thought you were. Hmm. All right. But yeah, no, it's me when I first came across the Goldensphere, or a person in the Goldensphere. I forget this person's name, but this person very very narcissistic, very toxic person. She's a biracial woman,
I wish you would
and
Mm-hmm.
remember her name. I really do.
because it's long, it's why I don't
Oh,
remember.
okay. Yeah,
What
yeah,
I'll
one of them
do,
weird. Okay.
yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah, she basically what I see over there is true of what Cynthia G says. You have these biracials, and particularly biracial women who do not like black women for whatever fucking reason. They have I've heard them say some of the most horrible things. She had laughed at a black woman being murdered. Um, it was just it's just some real sick shit. Yet they act as if they're doing something positive. They act as if what they do overall is not to be harmful um, in such in those ways towards black people and particularly black women. Um, they and of course they love any black person who, and particularly black men who sit on YouTube and slander and bash black women. But if black women were to retaliate, they would have an issue with that. They don't like black women speaking negatively about black men in their opinion, but they seem to support black men who speak um, negatively on black women. You know what I mean? Even though to them they don't think it's negative, they think it's the truth. But to me, it's just another way of divide and conquer amongst black people. Um, and they go around recruiting light skinned black women who are not biracial, yet they feel that monoracial people shouldn't speak on biracial issues and problems, although they recruit light skinned black women who are monoracial. So to me, I do see a lot of hypocrisy and a lot of toxic people over there from what I've seen.
Yeah. Well, shit. Let me know when you remember her name, because you know how well I get along with toxic people on fucking YouTube. So I think me
Oh
and her might
yeah.
have a whole lot to talk about.
Okay. No, no,
Someone
I'm, I'm
we
just.
else.
don't give a fuck, D'Lo. Do you know? Just I don't know if you do. I haven't seen you comment or anything over there. I don't know if you do. But she got quite a few subs. Um, yeah, but I'll let you know who it is when I could remember her name.
Yeah,
But yeah, though,
I'm just
but yeah,
soaking it in
but
right
I was
now.
getting ready to say
Well,
that
I guess, yeah.
I was getting ready to say that, again, like originally, like the people that normally put the set the table was, not that they didn't create it, but they set the table or paved the way. Like was Anon and LSM, some other folks as well. I think Light Skin Love and Alon Jones, whatever they call themselves. Because like I said, I would see their names in passing, but I would never really click
Speak
on
up,
their
Aaron. I
videos.
can't hear
See,
you.
okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was saying that, basically like you had folks like Anon and LSM and Light Skin Love and Alon Jones, and I'm pretty sure there was others. But the thing about it is that I would never, like I said, again, like I was never really watching their videos like that, even when they were on. They're not active like they used to be, but it was like you see their names in passing, and it's like, okay, well, and a lot, and like I said, again, when you see how you see things in passing, They somehow think that you're supposed to just sort of like just hop on board. Well, not necessarily, depending on what the circumstance is. But then it's like, okay, over time, it's like, well, if I happen to catch y'all next time, I'll catch y'all. Then, like I said, then when they channels went down, then part of me just started, thinking it's like, well, did they do it themselves or did somebody else come in and just, you know, made y'all shit? Did somebody else cause that?
Might have been
And at the
Rashida
time,
Strober.
What's that?
No, I said it might have been Rashida Strober. Y'all know who that is?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I know who Rashida.
She's
Yeah,
funny to
I know
me.
I know who Rashida Strober is.
Yeah. What actually, well, since we on the topic, what do you think about Rashida Strover's song?
I think she's a woman who, like many dark skinned women out there, could see that people were treating her different because of how dark her skin was. I think she's probably felt like she's missed a whole lot of opportunities, that she was treated unfairly for such a long time. Oh,
Right.
I read something. A few years back, and it was basically like the gist of it was when somebody is subjected to a prolonged stressful situation, they suffer from a permanent loss of empathy. Not totally, but like imagine a glass of water slowly evaporating, and the water represents empathy. Over time, yeah, it's slowly evaporating. And then something happens that kind of, takes it out of the sun, takes it away from that fast evaporation. And so I imagine something like that happened to her, to where she's like, I'm not going to be a victim anymore because of my skin, and that's unfair. And I do agree, it is unfair.
Right.
She might be a little bit overzealous with it, but I can understand her rage. I can understand her anger. And I say, if this helps you get through what the hell it is that happened to you, obviously throughout your life, because it's not like you just woke up one day and were dark skinned. No, you were born this way. If this helps you to, feel like you've regained some of the humanity that you feel as though people stole from you because of your skin, I'm all for it. She's funny as hell. Don't get me wrong. I laugh at some of the shit she says.
Yes,
but that doesn't mean
comical.
Yeah, that don't mean I don't understand her plight. That doesn't mean I don't understand her pain. It's like, okay, yeah, anybody, the majority of people would do something along the lines of what it is she's doing to try to get back that piece of herself she feels like was stolen because of the color of her skin. Because it's fucked up. It is.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
But other than that, yeah, she seems like an all right girl. She's just hurt, and I don't mean that in a joking way or anything. She has clearly been hurt for a long time throughout her life, and more than likely, the majority of it, she could tell. She could tell through people's body language, through their speech. This has something to do with me being dark skinned. But you can't say it because then it's going to make this situation even more awkward. So you're just going to act out in some subliminal type of way. So, yeah, that's my opinion on her.
Right. So I got a question for AMR. So if I go around defending, let's say, the Goldensphere or any light skinned biracial movement in regards to them being light skinned or biracial and what they had to go through because of that, would I be considered the dark skinned savior?
No.
Why not?
Because really, because normally, what that was, again, that question was asked, that question was asked by somebody, not necessarily that it was asked to me, but they was asked to the people that was involved in the Goldensphere. Because like there's like hell, believe it or not, there actually are dark-skinned people within the Goldensphere. Sure they may not be overabundance of them, but they do exist. And someone asked, well, if if somebody were to defend them because of how they look, would they be considered a light skinned savior themselves, or like you say, a dark skinned savior? It's like the answer. And I'm like, the answer would be no.
So a light skinned person defending dark skinned people or agreeing with them on this colorism issue, they're not considered the light skinned savior.
In which way?
No, I'm saying if they're defending, I'm not saying apologize
Yeah,
for
yeah.
them being dark. I mean them being light skinned, or biracial or whatever. But I'm saying if they were a light skinned or a biracial person and they're defending dark skinned black people and they're agreeing with them on how dark skinned black people or dark skinned people in general um, are being mistreated due to colorism, would they be considered the light skinned savior?
It's a good question.
Hmm. No,
Because
I
I've
never.
defended light skinned people, especially recently with Patricia and Della. Della tried to attack her for her and calling her out because she's light skinned or whatever, and I've told her many times Patricia is not like that. She's not jealous. She isn't stuck up, and she doesn't deserve to be treated a certain way just because she's a light skinned black woman. This has nothing
Right.
to do with colorism. So would I be considered the light skinned savior because I
Well,
defended
somebody.
someone who's lighter than me?
Well, from the outside looking in, and this is only from like this basically from the outside looking in, and people that's in her what's her name's again, Della's position, according
Yeah.
to her, and just her opinion only. Then yeah, maybe she would think it, but overall, if it's really genuine and if it's sincere, then no, it's like a matter of fact, you would actually would get praise, for at least realizing that it's like, hey, you're attacking phenotypes. Let's be real. You're again, you're not attacking how this person's character is, but you're attacking a phenotype, like what happened with Kwame. Yeah, like Kwame Brown came out the woodwork just attacking like phenotypes, as if phenotypes actually did something to you personally.
Right, but
And
that
that was not.
does I
But go
mean again, uh, would I be considered the light skinned savior?
ahead.
Like or would a dark, or you know what I mean? Like would we be
I
considered?
could see what she means. If there's like if there's like a group of dark skinned people and they having a debate with somebody and that person's just tearing them up and some light skinned girl or man comes in and basically starts championing for them. Like I could see why people say, "Oh, you had your light skinned savior come in and help all y'all." I could see. Is that what you're saying? I think.
Yeah, I'm saying like if a dark skinned person is okay, let's say it this way: if a light skinned person is saying, "I understand colorism; it's real. Um, dark skinned black people are not crybabies. They're not. That they are affected by it in some way, whether we like it or not." Um, are they considered the light skinned savior? They're coming in to quote unquote save dark skinned black people against other light skinned and biracial people. Because when I hear that, I'm thinking, oh well, they saying in a way that they're just pandering to dark skinned black people because colorism and all that is a hot topic. It's all over the internet or whatever. And I'm thinking they're just basically saying that because they feel that the light skinned person is just pandering to dark skinned black people. So I'm saying, well, okay, in the same sense, if a dark skinned black person is defending light skin or biracial people, um, if they were discriminated anyway against, if any discrimination was happening on them because of their skin color or them being biracial, would they be considered the dark skin? I mean, the light skin savior
I feel like
or
Hmm.
if
the
it
dark
works for
skin
one, it should
savior?
work for the other.
Right. That's is
Yeah.
what I'm basically trying to say. Like, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. 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 You know, again,
I just
according
got
to
tongue
them, yeah.
tied.
Yeah. According to them, yeah, you would be.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, why I don't, cause see, I don't like bullying of any kind. So me speaking up for it, like I'm not speaking up for Patricia because she's lighter than me. I don't. I'm not. It's not that I want anything out of it. I don't want to be light skinned. I don't want a group of light skinned people patting me on the head saying good job or nothing like that. It's just what's right is right and wrong is wrong. But that's the hypocrisy and biasness that they have over there in the Goldensphere that I've seen.
And that's the type of shit I don't like, because it's like, okay, like you said, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Yet, you know how people could be. People don't like to be wrong. If
Right.
Especially if they're so absolutely sure about something. If you could drop nothing but the facts, more than likely, like the majority of people we've been around will say some shit like, oh, why you caping for him? Oh, you simping for this person, you caping for that person. It's like, okay, so I call out the absolute truth. You can't beat that. So you got to try to bring it down some other road that you know is going to cause an argument. And that's just weak debating to me. If you can't address the facts, then hey, don't even try it.
Right. Right. I agree. Um. Yeah. But that's so. Like I said, I don't have like a laser beam focus on them over there. I just found out about them maybe like a little over a year ago. This is just based off what I've seen. I don't paint everyone with the same brush. Maybe some people are over there um that have good intentions and want to bring awareness to something that they feel is important. However, I based off of what I've seen, it's not so it's toxic over there. It's kind of like the reverse version of dark skinned people in the colorist movement, just with light skins and biracials. To me, um, like I've seen the same. When I get her name, I'll give it to you. But she was like, oh, there are there's light skin and biracial women who are feminine and they're living in their womanhood or something like that, and they're attractive. And when I saw that, I'm like, well, that's never an argument if a light skinned or biracial woman is feminine or not, and that's basically due because she is of a lighter skin tone. But I'm not saying that they're not. It's just when it comes to darker skinned women, we're not looked at as feminine because of our dark skin. But you see how they flipped it
Yeah.
and reversed it somehow to make it seem like it's light skinned women who have to fight to be seen as feminine. You know what I mean?
Shit.
And I'm like, yeah, you know
I
what?
can't wait
That
to
right
run
there,
into
I'm
these
like, that
motherfuckers.
is not true. That is
I
not
can't
true.
wait
You
to
know
run into
what?
these
You know
motherfuckers.
what's funny is, what's funny is that they always like want to paint, again, black women as the most ratchet. I'm like, hell, every woman is ratchet, regardless of race, ethnicity. It's like, hell, I've seen ratchet white women where I live.
Yeah.
I've seen ratchet Asian women and ratchet Hispanic women where I live.
I
And
can't
it's
hear
like,
you, Aaron.
so,
You're talking, but
okay, can you hear me now?
yeah,
Okay, I was saying is that now that right there is like BS because it's like, no, not one ethnicity, one woman of a certain ethnic group or can be just deemed as ratchet. I'm like I said, I've seen ratchet white women, Hispanic women, Asian women, uh, and it's like ratchet is ratchet,
right.
regardless of background. But it just seems as though it's like, but I don't know why it is, but for some reason that, people just love, again, just putting that image out there because it's like, oh, they want to keep it going. Push the propaganda and the agenda. Oh, well, hell.
Yeah,
The dark,
someone's phone is crackling real bad. I don't know who it is.
Might be mine. Hold on, let me mute up.
Okay. But yeah, no. I mean, there's people that know and understand that, ratchet women in all races. But I'm speaking specifically on the women that I've seen in the Goldensphere. They
Okay,
just
okay.
it's like reverse psychology. I don't know the correct word for it. I really don't.
Well, there is a such thing as reverse psychology. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't
Yes.
know if that would be considered reverse psychology. How I just explained how they flip it to where I guess they're the ones that's the victims of colorism. You know what I mean? Like I
It's
don't
like
know how to.
it's like they're invoking an undeserved victimhood. Like
Yeah,
you're
something like that.
accusing yourself of something that nobody else is accusing you of to to basically get pity points, to basically make people feel guilty for something that shit's fucking stupid. Like I like, please feel free to drop any links to any of their channels whenever you remember any of their names, because I would love to speak to some of these people, because that shit that's bullshit. And you know me, I'll call that shit out. Like nobody's accusing you guys of not being feminine. If anything, as far as quote unquote our race goes, you're looked at as the most feminine, the most kind hearted, the most soft spoken. So it's like, don't that victim shit, nah, that's bullshit.
Hey, okay. Hey, somebody was I think it was Water Sniper. Hey, what's up, man? Yes, I'm the one that mentioned Anon and LSM. Yeah, that was me. And apparently you must
Yeah,
know
I
a
don't know those
lot more.
people.
Yeah, you must know about Anon and LSM more so than I do. And I was just saying that, yo, I wasn't watching their content even when they was on. I mean, I would see their names in passing, but that didn't mean that I just necessarily just click click the link to their channel and just started watching their videos. But they're no longer here.
Hmm.
And, and now
Yeah,
some people
I
may,
don't like I said, I haven't watched everyone over there. I don't know what type of talking points Anon had, but yeah, the woman, I'm gonna get her name. She like, it's just the reverse of what dark skin, um if you can call it that, of what dark skinned black people do to bring awareness and try to end colorism. They're over there. It's like, okay, well, let's promote light skin or biracial music artists and models in the industry as if they're not promoted. You know what I mean? It's like what Salt said. It's their what I've seen. It's like they're trying to invoke a victimhood that's not really there, basically.
It doesn't apply to them. It
Yeah, it don't
honestly
up.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead
But
and hop off, Elm. I just got home. Yeah, I'll be listening though.
all
all
right
right.
then.
Yeah.
Thank you for
I'm gonna end
joining,
this
man.
soon. If
Yeah.
AMR want to add
All right. Peace out,
anything.
y'all.
Yep.
All right, peace out, man. But yeah, though, and to Water Sniper's question about why they left, I think it was a page that they had that was separate. That was a separate platform from YouTube, and they let somebody in who they thought that they could trust, and long and behold, all of a sudden things just went downhill, and they allowed themselves to get off balance a little bit.
You were breaking up at the end, Aaron. Repeat that, please.
Yeah, I was saying that they allowed themselves to get off balance a little bit, and plus, I think they had a separate page off of
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. I think that got compromised by what someone else did. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, like I said, I'm not defending Anon or LSM because I don't really know them like that. But my thing is, again, like from what I was told, it's like they allow people to have a voice who really should have never really been given a voice.
Mm-hmm.
For a non-LSM, again, like non, from what I was told, hell, he's a dark-skinned dude who was, who served the military.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't really know them. I never followed them. I'm not sure if I heard them being spoken about, in the Goldensphere before. Maybe so. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I've never watched their content, so I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah,
anything else you want to clarify or anything like that?
yeah. Well, yeah, and just so you know, again, me personally, yeah, me and you know me for longer than the Golden Sphere has. Again, me, I'm not
Right.
anti anything like real talk, but
You're not anti dark.
no, no, no way.
No, of course not. No, no, and like I said, I understand your reasons for joining it. You are one of those people that have good intentions. You want to bring awareness, or want it to be in an environment that brings awareness to something that you feel is ignored because of colorism. Like I said, light skinned people getting bullied or not being accepted as black, or people um, telling you what you are. Like maybe some people might consider you biracial, or you're not black enough, or you're automatically soft because you're a light skinned man.
Yeah,
And all
and
that. Like I understand that. I understand that light
and
skinned.
not only that, yeah, and not only that, because it's like, even back then, even before, I even heard of a non and LSM back then, like, I would go to like certain spaces, and these spaces started out okay. I was like, okay, yeah, I like their concepts, but then the moment that phenotypes started to be mentioned, it's like, what?
Right.
And it's like the moment that, I started hearing this more and more, I'm like, all right, well, you know what? Yeah, y'all taking this social media stuff like kind of a little bit too serious. And my thing is like, yo, really, like a phenotype ain't really done nothing to you. It's not a birth defect. Hell no.
Okay.
And the thing
Um.
about it, but go ahead.
Like I said, no, I get it. Just to finish my statement, I get it. I understand that there are people like you who have good intentions and are not anti dark, or anti anti of certain phenotypes and things like that. Like I get it. I'm not making fun of it in a sense that I'm not aware, or I don't believe that there are not genuine people over there. Um, but I have seen some bullshit, some fuckery. But go ahead.
Yeah, and you know what? And it kind of like, again, really, and again, in a way, they do have there. It's like, kind of like how it was in the sewage, how, how people love to troll to get under people's skins. And when you do that, now all of a sudden you allow yourself to get off balance. And it's like these people really don't show their faces or don't even show their avatar. I understand that certain people, they
Say that again, Aaron. You went out.
okay, I was saying like for certain people, like kind of remind me how like the sewage was, how they could just
Hmm.
hide behind avatars and just talk shit. And
Yeah.
it's like, why don't you cam up then? And then it's like, yeah, even when you cam up, especially in the sewage, now you open yourself to become a target. Like people are just gonna question you about what you are, what you ain't, or what you got, or what you don't have, or like just stupid shit like that. And it's like, in certain spaces, yeah, you can cam up because it's like you really don't have nothing to do versus certain places where I wouldn't recommend you would cam up.
Say that last part again. You went in and out. I don't know if that's you or me. But just that
Oh,
last part, just one more time.
okay. I was saying that, like for certain spaces, yeah, you can cam up or even show a picture of what you look like versus going into other spaces to where you necessarily can't cam up, and because people are going to use that as a tool to attack you.
Right. And, don't prove nothing to nobody. It's like whatever you do isn't going to be good enough anyway. So I figure it's just a waste of time. Really.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, you don't prove anything to anybody. These people on the internet, especially people who aren't even genuine and who aren't even really down for you, and who don't support you, who don't give a fuck about you. Don't prove shit to them. Fuck them. Let them wonder. Let them guess. Let them keep talking. It is what it is. You know.
And and the thing about it is that again, I thought about hell if certain things necessarily don't work out, well then you know what, hey, I got other things I got to do. I mean, hell, I work a regular job, so at least I'm getting
Right.
the bag.
Right.
I can all again make content about me traveling to certain spaces. Well, yeah, certain places.
All right. That's what's
Yeah.
up. Anything else you wanted to add about the Goldensphere before I shut this down?
Um, None that I can think of. I hope I answered all the questions that I or cleared up everything for what I didn't say last time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, it's.
it's not. But go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just hope that again I didn't leave a bad impression on them or rub them the wrong way or rub anybody here the wrong way.
No, I don't think you did. No, no. But like you said, you're entitled to your opinion, just like everyone else. It is what it is. But I think you've answered everything.
Okay.
All right. Well, appreciate you coming up here, you and Salt, and everyone in the chat. I'm gonna shut this down, and I will catch you guys later. Y'all have a good one.
All righty. Peace.
Peace.